Scrappers, it's Vanessa here, and welcome to the Scrappy Sisters Scraptember. I hope everyone is enjoying this amazing hop that the Scrappy Sisters have put together. And for my layout today, I wanted to start by showing you what it is I pulled to create my layout. And the theme that I chose for my part in the hop was Old Stash. And so I started off with pulling some papers from my stash that are definitely some of the older papers that I have. And so the first one that sort of was my jumping off point was this October Afternoon, I should say, piece of pattern paper from the Sidewalks collection. It was called Ring Around the Rosie, and it has this beautiful floral, which is what I use to pull the colors for my layout. And when I flip it over here, I can hopefully show you, if it shows up, that this one is from 2011, so definitely going back in my stash. And so my plan is to fussy cut these florals, so that is probably how they'll show up on my layout. From there, I chose another piece from my October Afternoon stash, and it is from 2009, and it was the Report Card Science Fair collection. So that one goes back even farther. I think that's the oldest piece that I pulled for this layout. So definitely going old stash, and everything here that I'm showing you, all of it is pretty old, at least a couple of years. So I have two just pieces of scrap paper from my scrap bin, and so I'm going to use those, a wood grain and a green. Hopefully my focus stays on. And then I will finish here. Let me show you all the papers first. I have a piece of pink tone on tone with a little tiny polka dot. This is just a very thin piece of paper, but it pulls in the pink that I needed, so I chose that one. I have this piece of yellow. It was from my scrap bin. This is from Die Cuts with a View. Now this is probably the newest thing. I think this was from the fall collection, the Pumpkin Spice, I believe it was called, from last year. So this is definitely the newest of my items. And then I have this piece, which does not, I apologize, the camera does not like this piece of paper, so I'm going to keep it down here. But it's hard to pick it up, but this is another tone on tone. It's kind of got a crosshatch pattern on it, and I'm going to move it away from the camera because it does not seem to like this paper, but this is another one that I'm going to use. And then my background for this one, I believe, is probably going to be this cream colored cardstock. It's just a plain piece of cream color cardstock. Now for the embellishments, I have these Sweet Girl brads. So I don't know what year these are from, but they are definitely not new. I have just some ephemera pieces. Now I may pull in some other things as we go, but these are what I initially have pulled. I have some Spiegel Mom Scraps Belle's Ball sequins. I have some pink sequins from Jelly Bean Soup. I believe these are from 2015. I have a few ephemera pieces and puffy stickers in here, but these wood pieces are from the Felicity collection, and they are from 2015 as well. I also have some Life Noted little rubber pieces, and those are from 2015 as well. For alphas, I pulled these Heidi Swap, and they are pink sparkly foam, thicker, and they have a year of 2014. These are Basic Gray Daily Flash, so I have those, and they are from 2013. Now this little folder or file looking piece is from October Afternoon when they did their packets of 6x8 little papers. So this is from October Afternoon. I do not know the year, but it is definitely, probably we're talking 2013, give or take. I am going to do some stitching, I do know that, so I have some thread. And then last but not least, I have some enamel dots. So that is what I put together for this layout. So I'm going to hop over now and we are going to put this layout together. So I will catch you in a minute, guys. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is create the background for our layout, and I'm taking that cream colored cardstock and these 3 colors of Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to take my blending brush here and put some color in 3 different stripes on my background. So really simple technique. These brushes allow me to get some color on. Doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of this is going to get covered up. I just want to make 3 sort of designated color bands for this layout. And I do apologize. This was filmed a while back when I was still playing with a lot of the settings on my camera and the lighting. And so my focus, I noticed a couple of times, does go in and out, as well as my color. I think for part of this too, I had forgotten to turn on one of my lights as well, so I do apologize for the color being a bit off on this video, but needless to say, I did get most of the process covered for this layout. And so here you see I have gone ahead and done the blue, and then I have a band of yellow in the middle, and then I am going to finish at the bottom here with this pink. And once I have all of my color down, because I'm using the Distress Oxide ink, I am able to sprinkle just a little bit of water on it just to get that oxidization that I love to have, that sort of look on my backgrounds. And so here you see I'm just going to add the water. Now, because I didn't gesso this paper, it doesn't work as well as if I had put some gesso down and then done this technique over top. I think I would have gotten a better oxidization of the ink because most of it had sort of dried into the paper a bit. So it is there. It is very faint, however. So that background you will see in the still photos at the end. You can see it a little bit, but it definitely would have been better. I recommend if you're going to do that, I would probably still maybe add some gesso to your background paper just to get a better oxidization with the inks when you add some water. So now that I have my background done, and I did put that water on it, so I did set it to the side to dry, I am going to take the pattern papers that I showed at the beginning of the video, and I'm going to take this border punch, which is actually, I believe, an old Stampin' Up! Border punch, I believe is where that one came from. And here you see I've gone off camera. I didn't want to make you watch me punch all of those out. It's rather boring to watch someone take a border punch all the way across. So off camera, I just made those 3 strips with that same border punch. What I loved about this series and choosing to do the old stash, not only did I go for old products in my stash, but I also decided to, play with some old school techniques. So I have sort of the border punch that I don't pull out my border punches enough, and I've had them, and that one in particular is an older punch, and so it was fun to pull that out. You're going to see here in a moment that I'm going to do some stitching and the stitching templates. I'll cover that in a few minutes, but you'll see that they're quite old in and of themselves. So it was really fun to sort of pull out some older products and some older, technique or tools from my stash and use them on this layout. So I loved being able to put this one together. It's really been fun, and I love the end result of the layout. So now that I've got my strips all punched in each of my colors, I'm definitely keeping to that tone on tone for my color strips. The blue is going to go on top of the blue Distress Oxide, the yellow on the yellow, and the pink on the pink. I am not bringing the strips all the way across, and I do apologize for my cat making an appearance. He likes to come in and scrap with me sometimes. So I'm not putting those strips all the way across my paper. I'm kind of cutting them off so that they don't run all the way to the edge. I just wanted a different look and to have that texture of having those edges that don't go all the way to the end. And so I do sort of 2 longer and then the middle one is shorter, just again to add some interest to the background. It's really the main reason that I sort of cut them slightly different. And so here is where I'm showing you the stitching that I'm going to do. And if any of you remember I think Basil, this was from Basil, they came out with, when stitching first started getting big, even before Amy Tan came out with her stitching templates, Basil came out with these ones with this big black punch board that I'm using right now and these different templates. And so I pulled that out. So it was, like I said, really fun to do this and use one of these really old stenciled templates for my stitching. So I'm going to follow the same exact process as I did with the blue, and off camera I have done the yellow and the pink and the stitching, and I really do love how this looks. I love the texture that the stitching and then those border punched papers add to the background. It really, you know, adds some interest to the layout, and so I do love how this one kind of comes together. Now here you see I am taking those other pieces of pattern paper that I had pulled for this layout, and I'm just going to use them for mats for my photo. And the photo that I'm using for this one is just a photo of my family. We were out for a walk in the evening. Now we live in Florida, and so right now we are in sort of probably what I would say is the warmest time of the year. And so we definitely don't take many evening walks like this picture. Usually that happens more toward the December, January, February, when weather is not super hot outside. So that is probably when this photo was taken, is about that sort of time frame. But here you see I am now putting the design of this layout together. I fussy cut that entire pattern paper of those florals, and I can't even tell you how happy that floral paper makes me. I love October Afternoon for one, but those florals are one of my absolute favorites, and they were perfect florals for fussy cutting. I absolutely love the way that they just bring this entire page together. So I decided my florals were going to go on the diagonal across from the top left to the bottom right, and I just feel like they draw you right into the center of the picture, which I absolutely love. The title for this one, I'm going to use both those pink foam and then these tile alphas, and basically the title is very simple, in it's just evening stroll, which is exactly what we are doing in this photo. And so I just simply kept it really simple with the title and called it exactly what it is. So there you see I've gotten everything glued down. I did pop up some of those florals just to add some additional interest and dimension to the layout. Now, very simply, I kept everything else really simple with this layout. All those sort of bits and pieces that I showed at the beginning of the video that I thought I might use on this page, I kind of just went through and took some of the puffy stickers, and I'm just going to sort of dot those around in each of the clusters. I'm going to take those wood heart and the sort of asterisk wood pieces. Those are both from, I believe, not Felicity Jane, from Pink Fresh, and just dot those in each of the clusters. And then I am going to take these sequins from, I believe I just used the pink ones. I don't think I end up using any of the yellow on this page. I just took the pink. I liked the look of just the pink ones. And so I dot those around, and basically with that will complete this layout. So I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers, and to all my longtime subscribers, thank you for watching. I hope everyone is enjoying the Scrap September that the Scrappy Sisters have put on, and thank you to the Scrappy Sisters for asking me to join, or allowing me to join this hop. It has been so much fun. So guys, here are the still photos, and I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody, and don't forget to stop by the Scrappy Sisters tomorrow and see who is up next. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.